Hi folks, thanks for joining me. We're back on this little Garod M33, which I believe is from the mid-1930s. I spent some time this afternoon taking all the old veneer and delaminated plywood from the cabinet and cutting it off with my X-Acto knife. And you can see here in the photos that I'm sharing, I also cut the veneer at angles. And again, that was done purposely so when I go to place the new veneer on there, it helps hide some of those points where the two veneers come together, or at least that will be my hopes. I tell you, that old grill area was in worse shape than I first thought. Just working with it today, I had a few more pieces just basically come apart that are ready to fall apart. And again, you can see the pieces that we'll have to fabricate here will be that center piece as well as the curved piece over on the right hand side. Here's some of the scraps that I cut out. I always keep those pieces of veneer. They'll come in handy. First thing I did though was start on this right side of the cabinet. The front fascia of the cabinet was loose where it adjoins the bottom foundation of the cabinet as well as the fluted side on the right. So I used some hide glue there just in case I'll decide or have a need to remove that front piece. Hopefully I can get things to loosen up. One tip here you can see, I'm going to use some clamps here to clamp this piece in place, but you can use wax paper. That's what I typically use, or you can see I've got some 2x2s with shipping tape wrapped around, so that comes in handy as well. I don't have to worry about pulling out the old wax paper. But you can see here I've got some glue to clean up and left everything clamped for about 3 hours or so. And of course we'll let that set up overnight. Then it's time to tackle those grill areas, and you can see what I'm using. Just a paint stir stick you can pick up from one of your box stores. And that's the piece of material with the right thickness or close enough. And you can see here I'm doing a dry fit, and now you can see the finals here. Let me tell you real quick how I cut the grill area on that right side angled. Again, as I mentioned, to cut that curved area on the right hand side, I just used the left side. And again, the painter's stir stick that I'm talking about here, that was the material again that I used. Just held it up there and placed it over the top of the curved area on the left, and just traced it out from the rear. Cut it out, and if you flip it over, of course it becomes your copy for the right side. And again, you can see I used epoxy because there's no way to clamp these pieces in place. So some quick setup epoxy and just hold everything in place. And you can see I'm using some wood filler, and that's just to get the substrate as flat as possible so the veneer will lay the way it should. I've got a couple areas on the right hand side here that were deep, so there are multiple fills there. I'll wait for this to completely dry overnight. Then I'll pick up a small block sander and sand everything flat. So folks, that's my progress thus far on the Garod M33. Thanks for watching.